Other news we're tracking for you this morning. The annual opening of Parliament has been scaled down considerably this year, of course, due to the coronavirus pandemic. On the 11th of February, President Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver the State of the Nation address in a hybrid sitting with only 50 people present, physically present. There will be no red carpet and no procession. The three arms of the state, or the customary guard of honor, and the 21-gun salute have also been cancelled. National Assembly Speaker Thandi Modise says the entire event will be muted and not much of the 2.2 million rand budget will in fact be spent. For more on the story, we're joined now by the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Sylvia Lucas. Sylvia, good morning. Thanks so much for your time this morning. On the AM report, these are all necessary steps to be taken, of course, as we all try to come to terms with a new normal amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Parliament itself also hard hit when it comes to people who have tested positive for the virus.
Good morning, Michelle, and good morning to your viewers. Indeed, all of us know that we are in the midst of a pandemic that have struck the globe in a way that is unprecedented. And that is the reason why even Parliament, we had to adhere to the regulations that is put up there, that is being approved by Parliament, and on which we are saying that this year SONA will also be used as a platform to showcase the fact that we are with the people of the globe in the midst of this pandemic, and also trying to play our part to make sure that Parliament doesn't become, or SONA doesn't become, a super spreader event of COVID-19. That is why the event is being converted into a hybrid event where you will find that at least 50 people will be present physically at the Parliament, including the judiciary, the executive, and the president, that will be delivering his State of the Nation address from the precinct of Parliament. Whatever we can do on a virtual platform with regards to the pomp and the ceremony, it will be done. But for now, it will be quite, like you said, a muted event, which will be in line with what is happening countrywide and globally.
Yeah. Sylvia, I mean, aside from the 56 staff at Parliament that have tested positive for COVID-19, 12 MPs and 5 officials have also died.
That is a fact. I'm also a survivor of COVID-19, so I'm one of the people that can say that we were not spared as Parliament from the effects of the pandemic. So we have lost at least 12. In the ANC caucus, it was 10, and 2 other members. So we have lost at least 12 members due to the COVID-19, and 5 staff members also perished, succumbed to COVID-19. And in total, 56 members have been infected, or what they are infected, and we must know that the whole family of Parliament have been affected. So no one have been spared from the effects of COVID-19.
Sylvia, as our discussion centres around, this scaled down State of the Nation address this year, the Speaker has said that not much of the budget of that 2.2 million rand will in fact be spent. Do we know how much of it will be spent, and perhaps whether that money will be repurposed somehow towards our fight against the virus?
Let me start by saying, ever since the 6th Parliament started, we have beginning to decrease the spending on the State of the Nation address in line with what the rest of the country has been doing. So already the 2.2 million is like an estimate, or it's a budget that is available for the State of the Nation address. It doesn't mean that we will be utilizing that budget. And what we are actually doing, and what we have been doing since last year within the lockdown, is that the work of Parliament have continued ever since we started with lockdown 4, alert level 4. The work of Parliament have been continuing, and we have been learning a lot of lessons as to how to use technology to make sure that we continue doing our oversight and holding the executive accountable, and making sure that as Parliament there is not a paralysis with regards to what we are supposed to be doing, to make sure that we also fulfill our task. So most of our budget have been diverted to make sure that we still continue with our work as Parliament, but in a way that is in line with what is happening, like I said, worldwide. So, of late, the majority of our resources as Parliament have been used to make sure that we invest in technology, also in training, making sure that our members and our staff are able to work in the way we've been working on virtual platforms. We have achieved a lot, and we've been very productive as Parliament within the pandemic by using the available resources to make sure that we invest in technology and also make sure that we have on virtual platforms and other methods to make sure that we still uh, uh, execute our responsibility.
In fact, you're speaking to us from that virtual platform this morning, Sylvia, but I'm sure, you talk about Parliament's work continuing and Parliament, in fact, still continuing to be productive during the year of COVID, during 2020. The future of how Parliament works, what are some of the struggles you think, as we all need to now try to find new ways of doing the work we did pre-pandemic? What are some of the perhaps sticking points that you foresee in how Parliament works for, let's say, 2021?
Let me first start by saying we really hope that as soon as possible the rollout of the vaccine to make sure that there is what they are calling herd immunity is being achieved. Because in spite of the fact that we have scaled down on what we have been doing, Parliament committees have continued to do on-site visits to go out to different areas. For instance, the Defence Committee went to all the borders. Recently, the Health Committee have been continuing with their public hearings around the national health insurance. Also, the other committee on Section 25 of the Constitution, they have continued with physical contact, whilst other areas like the work that we've been doing around the Women's Charter and so on, we were able to do it on a virtual platform, but we have continued to do it. And I think henceforth, Parliament will be able to use technology to make sure that we even make sure that our work is making much easier for us and that we reach more and we achieve more. Because in terms of issues like committees and so on that they need to do oversight over financial statements and so on, the virtual platform is working. But for some of the areas like which I've mentioned, that we really need committees to go physically to areas that have been continuing, but just on a scale down, in a scale down manner. But there is some of the areas where technology will not be able to assist. We need to still do physical work, and that have been continuing. It's just, it really depends on what COVID-19 shows us in 2021 as to what scale we are going to enhance the issue of physical visits and so on, and then what will be the balance between doing work virtually and also doing work physically. That is what we are still looking forward to this year.
Yeah, we're all trying to figure it out as we go along. Sylvia Lucas, thanks very much for your time this morning on the AM Report. That's the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, as we talk to the issue around a scaled-down version of the State of the Nation address this year. Only 50 people in physical attendance at Parliament.